Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, what I'm going to talk about is what I see on YouTube a lot. You know, even though I haven't been doing a lot of videos, I still will go on YouTube every day and watch what's going on, like the videos that's going on. See if I can find anything that interests me that I can talk about. Sometimes I get some good ideas, but for the most part, to me, it's all the same shit. There's a lot of channels I watch that have like positive, you know, not positive messages, but they're just more like positive YouTube channels. Like there's one I've watched is Kentucky Ballistics. The guy just shoots all kinds of weird guns and does all kinds of weird shit. Shoots at um, shoots at different things with these big ass guns that he has or that are sent to him to test out and shit. So it's interesting. It's funny, So that's more like what I mean by it's not a negative show on YouTube. There's another one. He's like a weird ass dude from I think from like Florida. He does like food reviews, and he kind of looks like a fucking crib keeper from. He wears a suit and he has some weird long pointy looking fingers and shit. But he does food reviews. My wife was like, "Why you always watch that guy?" It's like it's funny. It's entertaining to me. So there's channels out there that I do watch that are, they're not like a positive thing. They're just entertaining. Or I'll just watch things on history and shit like that too on YouTube. But then there's the other channels, um, that I come across. And right now there's a big thing going on YouTube with the black and brown community. Um, you know, I did a video a long time ago about how I felt about, where people say, oh, the black and brown community need to come together. And my opinion to it was like, for what? What's going to benefit us to do that? Not saying we have to live against one another or be rivals, but, people can live, peacefully amongst each other. But what is the reason why that needs to happen? You know what I mean? There is really no reason to benefit us. You know what I mean? For what? Are you doing it for votes? We have the numbers, so what do we need it for? What's the purpose? You know what I mean? They live their lives, we live our lives, different cultures, different people, different food, different everything. They live their lives, we live our lives. There's no need to fucking join up in forces and shit because this is not the 50s and 40s and 60s and shit when, the Ku Klux Klan's around and shit and there's racism everywhere like that. I mean, there's still racism, but not like that. You know what I mean? Where people are getting lynched and shit, where we say, okay, let's come together and go against them. Do you know what I mean? What do we need to come together for? Who are we going against? What's the purpose? Do you know what I mean? If you still have that mentality of we need to get together to go against the white people, you're a fucking fool because you're fighting racism with racism. That makes no sense. You know what I mean? So what's the purpose of this whole we need to get together shit? We don't need to get together. But I see it on YouTube a lot, back and forth with all these channels. And my opinion about it is, you got the blacks telling and I'm going to say Chicanos because I don't call myself Mexicano like other YouTubers, some of you other YouTubers do. But so when I say Chicanos, I mean all of us. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go back and forth and say Chicanos, Mexicanos, or like I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say Chicanos and that's it. But I'm referring to the Mexicanos too. But as far as the Chicano YouTubers, the black YouTubers constantly now are saying, hey, why don't you guys mind your own business? Why don't you guys talk about your guys' issues and what's going on with your community and quit fucking talking about our community and bringing us up into the conversation. And my opinion is, yeah, why don't you stop talking about them? Same guys that are trying to bring this two communities together are being told by them, hey, fuck you guys, quit talking about us. But yet they want to continue talking, trying like as far as like, we should have come together, black and brown needs to come together, but the blacks are like, why you guys keep talking about us for? Why you guys bringing this up in your conversations? Why are you talking about our cultures and our lifestyle and what's going on in our community? Why don't you talk about your own? You know, and to me, it's like a slap to the face. You know, you want to come together with them, but they don't want that. It's like, quit talking about it. And my opinion is, why don't you stop talking about them? I don't talk about them. You know, when you talk about them and what's going on in their community, they don't like that. They don't want that. They don't want you doing that. And they're making videos and videos about it, saying, hey, stop fucking bringing this up in your conversations. Now, my thing is, I don't talk about that, what's going on there in their community, because to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck. I don't live in a black community. I don't want to live in a black community. I'm not black. I'm Chicano. I worry about my own people. That's what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with helping my own people. Can't go helping somebody else. I got to help my own first, you know? So I don't care about that. I don't make videos of that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So they're right. Quit talking about it. But the problem is, when you talk about them, they don't like it. They don't want you doing it. They make videos about you talking about them. But now, if you come out and say, hey, you know what? You're right. I don't want to talk about you. I'm not going to talk about your community. I don't care what goes on in your community. I don't care what you guys do. I don't care if you guys make it, you don't make it. I don't care anything about that. You're right. I'm going to stop talking about you guys. Do what you do. I don't give a fuck. You're going to have people come say, oh, you see, they don't give a fuck about us. You see, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. When you're talking about them, it's on the videos. It's like, oh, he's this guy's racist. He's a racist against us. If you say, I'm not going to talk about you, fuck what's going on in your community, I don't give a shit. Oh, you see, he's a racist. He's being racist to it. No. That's your business. In my opinion, it's your business. Whatever goes on in your community is your business. I don't live there. You know what I mean? I don't want to live there. You know what I mean? I don't. What you guys are doing, that's up to you. I don't care. You know, and that's the reason why I don't make videos like that, you know, going back and forth. But the thing is, you got to understand this. If the Chicanos stopped doing videos about the black community, and this is my opinion, they wouldn't make no fucking money. If they were to try to do positive videos, they're not going to make no money. Negativity sells. If you go to these other channels like No Jumper and any of those channels like that, all that shit is negative. Everything they talk about is negative. Disrespecting one another, talking shit to one another. You know what I mean? And then other guys from the Chicano community go back and forth and make videos about that shit. You know what I mean? And it's because that's what sells. The negativity sells. If the guys from our community would do positive videos, they're not going to make no money. So they have to sell, they have to make money off the negativity. Now it's the Chicano rappers from Southern California and Northern California. There's a lot of shit going on between them. So that's why they make videos about that. Because the negativity sells. There's nothing, they're not doing no positive. It's all negativity. These Chicanos are disrespecting these, but it's only making so much money. Because if you do it on the black community, you're going to get more views. If you just do even the negative videos on the Chicano rappers, nobody gives a fuck. You're going to get little views. You're not going to make no money, not that much money. Nobody gives a fuck about what's going on with Chicano rappers. You don't see black channels making videos about Chicano rappers from Northern California, Southern California, or even just Southern California that are beefing with one another, because nobody gives a fuck outside of our community. And even most of us in our community don't give a fuck about that shit. We don't care about Chicano rap. You know, I've spit videos on that too. Chicano rap sucks. It's plain and simple. This shit sucks. It's garbage. It's terrible. Stop fucking doing it. But nobody gives a shit. You're not going to make no money off that shit. You make a little bit, just a little bit. You have to go back to making videos about the black community because that's what sells. The negativity in the black community is what sells. And that's why, and when the blacks say, hey, stop talking about us. Well, stop doing the shit you're doing. And people wouldn't make these fucking videos of all the negative shit that you're doing, of all the negative talk that you talk. If you were talking positive, nobody would talk about you because it doesn't sell. Being positive does not fucking sell. So, there's one YouTuber I talked to. I'm cool with him. I got a lot of respect for the dude. But I seen him the other day saying, he doesn't understand why people go on to No Jumper and discuss shit with that dude Adam 22. And my opinion, that one day that dude's he's gonna get fucked up one of these days, because he is, he only because he has security does he talk the way he talks. That's it, because he has armed security guards. That's why he talks the way he talks. Because if he hadn't armed security guards, he would have got the shit kicked out of him a long time ago, or he would have been taken out a long time ago. It's because he has armed security there that he talks the way he talks. But on the other hand, you got to look at it like this. You can't really blame that guy. You got to point the finger at the motherfuckers that are going on there and saying, why are you going on there discussing all this shit with him? He's a fucking nobody. He's not a street guy. Why are you talking to him about this stuff? Why are you going on that show showing your ass to everybody? He's only taking advantage of the stupidity and your negativity, because negativity sells. That dude Adam 22 is a smart motherfucker. And anybody that's on YouTube making money off of negativity is smart, because that's where you're going to make your money. You're not going to make no money out of positive shit unless you're doing something like, you're not talking about street shit. Maybe like, what's the other one? Vice Grip Garage. I watch that dude all the time too. He fixes cars. He'll buy a piece of shit car and he'll fix it. And he'll get it running and he'll sell it, or he'll do some weird shit to it. He got a lot of fucking followers. I think he has millions of followers. He's making a lot of money off YouTube. So if you're going to do some shit like that, that's different. But when you're more of the street shit and you get stuck in that prison shit, everything's got to be negative. What are you going to do what are you going to say that's positive? That's going to make you money. You're not going to make money off being positive. Even if you're doing videos on how to stay out of prison, don't go to prison, don't do this, don't do that. You're not going to make a lot of money. Nobody wants to see that shit. But when you make videos about all the negative shit that goes on in prison, the people that have been killed in prison, the people that have been, sexually taken advantage of in prison, selling dope in prison, things like that, that's what they want to see. They want to see the negative part. But if you start talking positive, your views will go down. It's the same thing with my Instagram. My Instagram, I started posting, when I first started, bikes, Harleys, Indian motorcycles, biker events, pictures of us at events, riding, videos of the riding, shit like that. And I started building up the Instagram. Then I started throwing the memes out there and shit like that. That was getting me more and more views. So it went from one thing to another. Now my page is mainly fucking posting memes and shit like that, because some of them will go viral. Some of them hit, 45,000 views, or some of them even into the millions of views on reels that I post. It's all negative shit. Or it's funny shit, but a lot of it's negative shit. Some of it's racist shit. You know what I mean? I pick on everybody. You know what I mean? You can look at it and be like, oh, he posted shit that's racist. Well, I do it to everybody. I do it to my own fucking people. You know what I mean? It's funny to me. Sometimes it's funny because, I think people take shit too serious. You know what I mean? They're just fucking memes, but people will take it serious. But I got like over 30-some thousand followers on Instagram because I started posting memes. Now, if I go back right now and post a picture of a fucking Harley, I'll get like 50 likes. I post a fucking racist meme, I'm going to get thousands, because people want to see the negative. The negative sells. So that's the reason why, when the blacks are saying, why you guys keep making, well, quit showing your ass. It's because the negative shit that you're doing, or the negative shit you're saying, is what's going to make money. So of course they're going to go back to it, because if they went and talked about our community and talk positive shit, they're not going to make no money. If, as a black content creator, if you went and started talking about, what's going on in the Chicano community, how many fucking views are you going to get? All your black followers are like, why are you talking about that for? We don't give a fuck about that. So you're going to lose your viewing. You're going to lose your money. Even your community wants to see all the negative shit. They want to see all these black YouTubers going at one another. So that's where the money's at. And that's the reason why they're doing it. They're smart, but for me, I don't need money that bad. I don't give a fuck what's going on in your community. I need to make videos on it and shit. I don't need money that bad. I don't give a fuck. I make less than $100 a month on fucking YouTube. I don't care. I got a job. I'm not worried about that shit. You know what I mean? If that was the case, then I would go after all these other YouTubers, like all these other guys I see doing videos on one another, reaction videos. They're doing reaction video over reaction video over reaction video. You know what I mean? There's guys that I came on here way over a year ago, year and a half ago maybe. There's guys that barely came on here, a few months ago, and they got more fucking followers than I do and more views than I do. Why? Because they go straight to the fucking negative. And these are other Chicano YouTubers. They go straight to the negative. They go straight to talking bad about somebody, bringing the next motherfucker down. You know what I mean? And like they say, a Mexican or a Chicano's worst enemy is another Chicano because they're gonna bring each other down. Crabs in the bucket. That's what they do. You can go on YouTube. I watch all of them do it. When new guys show up, like, bam, a new guy just showed up. Okay, let me see what he's doing. Boom, the first thing he's doing, talking negative shit. He goes after another YouTuber that has a more of a following and starts talking shit about him. I just came upon one the other day, like he just came out of fucking nowhere. And that's all his videos are, negative shit about other Chicano YouTubers. Because that's where he's going to get his viewing. That's where he's going to make his money. Some people are willing to sell their fucking soul for a fucking buck. I don't do it. I don't go back and forth with motherfuckers on YouTube. If somebody says something bad about me, I don't give a shit. I don't live off this shit. I don't live, on to beef with motherfuckers on YouTube. I'd be a foolish motherfucker to do that kind of shit, to argue with somebody on YouTube. If somebody puts a negative comment on my shit, I just delete it. That's it. I don't give a fuck. If somebody puts negative comments on my Instagram, I delete it, block them, that's it. I ain't going back and forth with nobody. I've been on fucking my Instagram for years. I don't go back and forth with people on Instagram. You fucking say something, boom, done. I don't need to see it. I don't need to hear it. I don't give a fuck because you're on the computer or you're on your phone talking shit. You got something to say? I'm very accessible to people. People know where I live at. I've thrown my address out there plenty of times on Instagram for people to come to my house when I have parties and shit like that, even strangers. So there's motherfuckers that know where I live at. I'm not worried about that shit. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't go back and forth with motherfuckers on YouTube or Instagram. I refuse to do all that dumb shit. And I see them doing it all day long. And I don't get involved in it, you know what I mean? I don't get involved in their arguments and all that shit like that, I have my opinions about certain things. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to voice my opinion either. Other people I feel are afraid to voice their opinion. Why? Because this is how they make their money on YouTube. If they get canceled off YouTube, they no longer going to make no money. You know what I mean? So they got to keep things kind of like at a PG, or, they can't really say what they really feel. And me, I don't live off YouTube, so I'm going to say how I feel. I don't give a shit about holding back. I'm not going to hold back. You ask me, I'm going to answer it. You ask me how I feel about certain people, I'm going to answer it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I don't hide like other people do, to make myself seem like, because I feel like everybody has racism in them. They all do. They'll say, no, there's no racist bone in my body. You're a fucking liar. You have some kind of racism in you. You know what I mean? I see how a lot of the blacks will say that, people are racist against them, but they're racist against people too. They're racist against, a lot of them are racist against white people. They call them crackers and all that shit. You know what I mean? Or like, you white motherfucker, this and that. They're racist against white people. They fight racism with racism. But again, all that shit on YouTube sells. Negativity sells. That's where you're gonna make your money. That's where you're gonna get your following. I don't go back and forth with people on YouTube. I don't do all that shit, so I'm not gonna get a lot of following. But I don't care because I'd rather not have followers than to have them because, you know, I'm showing my ass out here and going back and forth with motherfuckers like a kid, like a child. You know what I mean? I grew up at a different time. You don't do that shit. You don't sit down and talk. You got something to say, call that motherfucker. That's another thing that a lot of these YouTubers do. A lot of them have each other's phone numbers. They can get a hold of each other. Believe me, if anybody wanted to get a hold of me, there's a couple other YouTubers out there have my phone number. If they wanted to get a hold of me, they can call that dude. Like, hey, can you get a hold of this guy? I want to talk to him. Can you call him? Let him know I want to talk to him. You know what I mean? Everybody's accessible to each other. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not a big time YouTuber and I'm not like out there like a lot of the other guys, anybody can get a hold of me if they need to. You can go on Instagram and get a hold of me on Instagram. You know what I mean? But the thing is, be a fucking fool to do all that shit. I don't do that. If I have a problem with you and I want to get a hold of you, I'll get a hold of you. And I say, hey, I got a problem with you. I got a problem. I need to talk to you. Whether we talk on the phone and fix this shit or we see each other in person, we're going to talk about it. There ain't going to be no fucking getting out your cameras and all that bullshit. We can talk about it. We can do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. But there's no cameras and all that shit involved. We don't need all that. But that's what nowadays, that's how they do things, you know. But again, it's because it's negativity. And negativity sells. If you're going to do positive shit about, it's not like, you know, fixing bikes or fixing cars or building some kind of structure or something like that, you're not going to make no fucking money. Talking positive most likely is not going to make you no money unless you're talking positive about something that's meaningful. You know what I mean? Like I see a YouTuber that, you know, because I have cancer. So there's things I talk about with my cancer and stuff like that. You know, just trying to bring awareness to people about the cancer and how I got cancer and treatments and shit like that. But there's another YouTuber that I see. Same shit, he got cancer. But what does he do? All his videos are negativity. He sits down and goes at it with other YouTubers and makes negative videos. Negative, talking negative shit. Nothing positive because that's what's making him his money. But going through something like what I'm going through or what he's going through, you would think that he'd want to be a little bit more positive because you keep getting negative shit thrown back at you. And not just in YouTube, in life. You're battling fucking cancer for the second time. So instead of trying to become positive, you'll sit there and continuously be negative. And negativity breeds negativity. Maybe your negativity and all the shit that you do is your karma. Because that's what I believe in myself. All the negative shit that I've done in my life has caused me to be where I'm at now, to be battling cancer for almost 2 years now, and with no cure in sight for me. I'm almost 100% sure that I'm gonna die from this shit. You know what I mean? So why would I sit here and just be a fucking negative person on YouTube, just talking negative about another man, a man men that you don't know, you never met in your life? Instead of trying to be positive, got a wife, kids, you know, family and all that shit, you're battling cancer. Why sit there and be fucking negative constantly? When everything that you come out with is negative, now what's happened to you? Nothing but negative. For $1, for a couple dollars, that shit makes no sense. But it's the mentality of people nowadays. The negativity sells, and that's what the whole purpose of the video is. I understand it though. I understand it because money means a lot to everyone. You know, you need money. And it's a fucked up thing, but at the same time, I have to say it's smart. It's smart if you want to make money on YouTube. The more negative you are, the more attention you bring to yourself, the more money you're going to make. But in the end, all your negativity, it just is going to breed more negativity for you. You know, you can say all the shit you want to say, but one day you might just run into a motherfucker on the street and he's not playing the same game you're playing. So your money means nothing. Your views mean nothing when that dude decides that he's going to fucking just take you out because you run your mouth on the internet. Your negativity bred negativity. And your money can't fucking save you. Your views and all that shit can't save you. Everybody that's on YouTube doing the shit that they're doing, everybody knows who you are. People see you in public. And one day, you're going to answer for the shit you do. You may not think so, but you will. Because I've heard that shit already. I've heard of other YouTubers. I know of one that got killed. But I heard of other YouTubers being out and about and people recognize them. You know what I mean? One day you're going to get recognized by that one dude that wants to make a name for himself. And because of all the negative shit you sit on YouTube talking, whether you're from the black community or the Chicano community, don't matter. All that tough shit you're talking, you're going to answer for it. And all your views and all your money don't mean dick. Nobody gives a shit. And guess what? As soon as that shit happens, all the other YouTubers are going to jump on the bandwagon and start making videos about it. That negativity got them paid again. Just like with that one dude that got killed about a year and a half ago, a year ago, whatever it was. He was out there talking all kinds of shit on YouTube. His negativity caught up to him. And somebody went over there and killed his ass. And then, as soon as that happened, fucking videos popping up all day on my YouTube about him. He was killed. So this dude went over there from all the shit, all the information's out there. You know what I mean? And all these guys are putting money in their pocket from the negativity. Try it. Try fucking talking some positive shit and see how fast your money drops. You're not going to make no money out of it. So I understand. It's not for me. I wouldn't sell myself like that. Whatever everybody else does, that's on them. You know what I mean? But can't ask why. You know what I mean? Like why are you talking about our community? Why are you always bringing up our community? Because you're doing dumb shit. And when you do dumb shit, I'm going to make money off of it. That's the way they see it. I don't do it because I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But that's where the money's at. The money is in all the negativity that comes out of the black community. The proof is in the pudding. If they start talking about our community, nobody's going to give a shit. They got to talk about what the negative that comes out of your community. So if you guys start doing positive shit, well, there's nothing to talk about no more. Because when's the last time they did that videos were being done like, hey, this happened to the black community, they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing, and it made money? No. None of them YouTubers are doing that. They're waiting for you guys to do dumb shit and beef with each other and go on No Jumper and all these other shows and talk dumb shit and show guns and talk all the fucking dumb shit because that's what's going to make the money. Go out there and try to be fucking positive with another fuck. You guys come together and be positive. Nobody gives a shit. And when you guys do try it, you get shit on. Like when all them Bloods in, I don't know if it was in Compton or South Central, whatever, they try to get together and do that little march and shit like that. People shit all over that. There was nothing. They were like, fuck that dude. Look at the way he's dressed. He's supposed to be a Blood. Everything was negative, negative, negative. When you're trying to do some positive shit, they turned it into a fucking negative and just clowned on you guys for doing it. Your own community was clowning on you for doing it, saying that, he's not real Blood. Look at the way he's dressed. Fuck that dude. You know what I mean? Or why wasn't these people there? Negative. Because that's what sells. Nobody gives a fuck about nothing positive. So when you ask why the Chicano YouTubers are making videos about you guys, it's because the negative. The negativity sells. It makes them money. They can't talk about what's going on in our community because they won't make no money off of it. Nobody gives a fuck about what's going on in the Chicano community. There's no black YouTubers making videos on what's going on in the Chicano community because nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's gonna watch it from the black community or any other community. Nobody cares. No black YouTubers are making videos about Chicano rappers because nobody gives a fuck about Chicano rappers. So that's the answer to that. Why you keep bringing this up? Why, oh, not us. Why they keep bringing you up? The negativity. Negativity sells. And so don't ask why, people like Adam 22 are doing what they do. Ask the guys that are going there. Why are you going there and doing that? He's only taking advantage of stupidity and negativity, making him millions of dollars. He's a smart fucking dude. He's a fucking asshole. He's an idiot. He talks about shit that he shouldn't talk about. He knows nothing about. And one day he's going to get his ass handed to him. One day something bad's going to happen to that dude. But until then, he's going to continue to make millions of dollars off of you guys because of negativity that you guys bring there to them. He can only ask questions that you're going to answer. If you're answering, whether you're a fucking in the black community or even the Chicanos that go there, he's only answering the questions that you're asking, the questions you're answering. Why are you answering these fucking questions to that guy? You're stupid for doing it. And he's making millions of dollars off of it. So he's not, I can't look at him as the bad guy. I look at him as being smart as fuck because he's making millions of dollars off it. But he's that kind of guy. He's a fucking weasel. You know what I mean? I'm not like that. I don't give a fuck about money that much, right? I gotta be a fucking weasel like that guy. But you cannot blame the guy because you don't have to answer the fucking questions. You don't even have to go there. You're going there and exposing yourself to be an idiot. And he's just taking advantage of it by putting that money in his pocket. So that goes for any of the YouTubers that do that kind of shit. You know what I mean? You're putting that money in their pocket because you're a fucking idiot. Because you're negative. Again, negativity sells negativity, and negativity breeds negativity. And that's where the money's at. It ain't for me, but hey, you guys do whatever you guys want to do. You know what I mean? I got too much pride to be doing that kind of shit. And so that's the reason why. Yeah, my opinion, stop talking about the Chicano YouTubers, stop talking about the black community. See what happens. You ain't gonna make no money no more. So you're smart. You know what I mean? It's not for me, but it's for you. You're smart. You're making a lot of money off of it. You know what I mean? You're not gonna make nothing if you talk about us and positive shit that's going on with our people. You're not gonna make nothing because nobody cares unless you start some kind of fucking cooking channel, like Mexican cuisine or some bullshit. You might, after so many years, make some money, but if you're gonna sit down and talk about positive shit, nobody gives a fuck. It's what the negative shit that goes on in the black community and the negative shit that goes on in any community, pretty much, whether it's black or brown community. As long as it's negative, it'll make you something. But it's more money, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. It has nothing to do with racism. Everybody knows that you're going to make more money in the negativity of the black community than you will negativity in the Chicano community, negativity in the white community, negativity in the Asian community, or any other community. You know for a fact you will make more money from the negativity from the black community. If you don't want them talking about you, then maybe you guys come together and say, hey, you know what? As black YouTubers, hey, let's stop fucking talking about negative shit and stop disrespecting one another. Stop disrespecting our women. Stop making music about this negativity. Let's stop doing that shit so people will stop making money off of our community out of our negativity. But you're not going to do that. You're going to continue, the black community will continue to do all this negative shit. So that's where the money's at. And it's not just blacks that are doing negative shit. We do it too. But it doesn't sell. It does not sell. Any other community does not sell like the black community. So that's the reason why. So when the blacks ask, why you guys keep making videos about us? There's your answer. Because it only makes money when it comes to you guys being negative. Nobody else. So that's something that you guys got to fix in your own community. Say, hey, we need to stop fucking doing this shit. But again, that'll never happen. So everybody else will continue to make money off the negativity of your community. And it's your own fucking fault. They're smart because they're making money off it. I just, like I said, it's not for me. I don't give a shit. I don't care what's going on in your community. I care about my own. And that's just the way it is. Not that I have, it's not like, oh, I'm going against you. I'm just saying. So, again, they're going to think like, oh, that's fucking racist. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not worried about it. I don't live there. I live in Upland, California. You know what I mean? I don't live in Watson, Compton, South Central area. Well, that's mainly where the black community is at. Or San Bernardino. I live close to it, but I don't live over there. I wouldn't fucking move over there. I wouldn't move to Compton, Watts, or South Central either. I grew up in Inglewood, left there. You know what I mean? But I didn't grow up in the black part of Inglewood. I grew up over more towards Lenox. You know what I mean? Didn't live over there by Centinela Park. Didn't want to live over by Centinela Park. I wouldn't move to Centinela Park. You see? So I'm not concerned what's going on over there. That's your guys' business, not mine. So again, like I said, when you're wondering why they keep making videos about you guys, well, it's because the negative shit's going on. Look at it. All you have to do is look at it. They're not talking about anything that's positive about your community, are they? No, it's all negative shit. And some guys are making millions. Some guys are making tens of thousands of dollars a month off of your negativity. They make a little bit off the negativity of the Chicano rappers and shit like that. Not much. The money's in the negativity of the black community. That's the reason why. There's your answer. Quit being fucking negative. They ain't got shit to talk about. You keep doing dumb shit. You give them all the ammunition in the world, and you keep lining the fucking pockets. If you stop doing it, everybody have to find something else to do. They have to find another niche to get more followers on YouTube. And if these fucking Chicano rappers that are beefing one another, whether they're from Northern California, Southern California, or if it's all from Southern California, or all from Northern California, if these fuckers would stop doing negative shit, who are they going to talk about? They'd have to find another niche. But that's not going to happen. That'll never happen. The black and brown community will never come together. Never. Ever. Southern California, Northern California, Chicanos will never come together. Ever. Texas and California Chicanos will never see eye to eye. And they won't see eye to eye with Arizona and New Mexico either, and Colorado. They won't see eye to eye. They will always think that we're better than them. That's the truth. People from California do think we're better than the fucking Mexicans or Chicanos in Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. A lot of us do. I say it. Other people are like, no, that's not true. It's true. It's true. We think we're better than you guys. We're from California. You know what I mean? That's the way we see things. You know what I mean? Not so much nowadays, like for me, I don't give a shit where you're from. But when I was growing up, yeah, that's the way we're like, fuck Texas, fuck New Mexico, fuck those guys over there. Those guys are fucking like whitewashed. They're Tex-Mex and they're this and you don't fuck about them. And we felt the same thing about Northern California. You know what I mean? Fuck those guys. They're a bunch of fucking farmer guys up there. They don't know what's up. We're from Southern California. You know what I mean? We always thought we were better than them. You know what I mean? So, it will always stay that way. We will always feel, I shouldn't say we, but guys from Southern California will always feel that they're better than Northern California. And the same thing with Northern California will always feel. That'll never go away. We'll never have it where we come together again. That'll never happen. When people keep talking about that shit, It's never going to happen. You know what I mean? Racism will always be around forever. The black man will never get a fucking fair share ever. Ever since blacks have been in this country, they have been mistreated the whole fucking time. And here you go, 2024. What's changed? There's no more chains on their fucking legs, but they still get treated the same way. They still get treated like second class citizens. You know what I mean? They have been dealing with racism since the day they got here, and they're still dealing with it now in 2024. And you think it's going to stop? It's not going to it'll never stop. It'll always be here. So when people crying about that kind of shit, it's like, what are you crying about it for? It'll never go away. Just like our people will constantly say, this is our land, the white people took it, and blah, 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 all the stupid ass shit. You're never going to get it back. Why are you complaining? Why are you still fucking talking about it? Why you still live with that fucking victim mentality? It'll never go away though. It'll always fucking be here. You see what I mean? I'm smart enough to know that. So that's why I don't worry about those things. I don't think about those things. I don't give a fuck what people say about me. I don't give a fuck if people like Mexicans, Chicanos. I don't give a shit. Doesn't bother me none. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. So, you know, people are always going to make money off that, the negativity, because it's always going to be here. You're not going to stop fucking arguing with each other on YouTube and shit like that. You're not going to stop being negative toward one another. And other YouTubers are going to take full advantage of it. And they're going to line their pockets with money over it. And then you're going to bitch about why the fuck you talking about us. Well, stop doing dumb shit. And they wouldn't have nothing to talk about. But that'll never happen. So, you know, good for you. Good for those guys that make money off the negativity. You're smart. You know what I mean? But that's the answer to it. Why they do it? Because you give them the fucking ammunition to do it. Negativity breeds negativity, and negativity sells. And that's just the way it is. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to end this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be talking to you guys later.